An incredible journey that began July 1st, 2024 has reached an incredible milestone because of all of you. In a period of 2 months before July, my boy and I, we looked into what it would take to stream, right? We decided eventually to go the OBS route right off the bat. It was his recommendation. That all happened in May. In June, we spent gathering all the goodies that we would need. We ordered everything, and just little by little, it all trickled in. And it looked like July would be a good time to start streaming. Right here, you see the very first stream we ever did.
Hello there, friends. Glad you're with me today on my first ever live stream. This is pretty exciting stuff. I'm definitely excited, nervous, probably all the above, but I'm glad to have you folks with me.
It is something to see the humble beginnings here. Really, at this time, I have to be honest, I had no concrete plan. But here's what we knew at the time. I was going to race. My boy, who goes by Octi in chat, was going to do the thumbnails, manage the tech, and my sister, who is Bandakookie in chat, was going to push out the shorts like no one ever had. One a day with very, very few misses. At that point, that's about all I had in my mind, with a hope that one day we could get fully monetized by YouTube, and it looked achievable. We needed 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours. That's what it would take. Why do this? Why stream? I mean, I work full-time in a solid job. I have a part-time business in metalworking, which I do out of my own shop on the property here. But the truth is, I mean, things keep getting expensive. The kids keep growing, and it's hard to keep up. Something kind of had to be done. So I had been racing on GT7 since it came out, May 2022, and I love it. I really never saw myself getting tired of it anytime soon. So my thought was, what if I could get paid to do something I'm already doing? I'm an A+ driver, and I thought maybe I had something to offer to the GT7 community. Would people watch? It sounded like a reasonable question to find out the answer to. These early streams that we have here, they're really just about learning the skill of racing while interacting with chat at the same time, which I really needed to work on. The timing of looking at chat and then racing and making sure you don't fly off the track is quite the skill, actually. With so many distractions in the beginning, coupled with some unfavorable combinations, I actually lost my A+ ranking very early on. But that did create a bit of drama, and we made getting that ranking back a priority while streaming. Something that happened that I did not expect was Viking King Gaming put in a good word for me with a certain Aussie Pug. Aussie Pug came in chat one day in a stream and asked if he could do a livery for me. I said, sure. And since then, he has made dozens of liveries for us. This way, even if I am stinking it up on the track, I can still look good while doing it. In those first 2 to 3 months of streaming, many of you had some really cool ideas. And there were some other ideas of our own that came along as well. One was having coaching sessions while live on stream. This idea was given by Wicked Quick, and this would eventually be called Learn with Led. At the time of this recording, we have had over 25 guests do a Learn with Led session. This over here. All right, so Dane, invitation is set. Look, Dane, here's what I say. Here's what I'll tell you. I think you're among friends here, okay? I gotta tell you, man, and I hope this is encouraging to you. The fact that you're picking this up as fast as you are, I think really, it's very promising, honestly. Let's talk about the purpose once again for Trailbreak. I like where you have it paused now, too. So do you see where your yellow indicator is on the apex there?
Yes.
Yeah. And with me is PHG Wicked Quick. He's no stranger to the channel. You guys know him real well. I call him Coach. And so let's have Wicked say hello to everybody.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing, man? Thanks for having me today. As you all hear, from Louisville, Kentucky. So this accent is not made up. I was born this way.
Another idea we had was to get involved in some league races. Heard about the NRL and eventually the PHG World Series. This is where I would end up putting a lot of pressure on myself to do well. Very competitive, very tough combinations, but a lot of fun. The other thing that I wanted to do that came up was to do a video series on getting better at racing with others on track. and make it really as thorough as possible. This would eventually become Essential Racing Strategies. At this point, we're actually in the process of making episode 8 out of 9 planned videos. In order to get prepared for Essential Racing Strategies, we needed to put out videos in some form just so I could learn video editing. So I recapped some of the time trials, which we call time trial trials. I would also recap daily races, in which we would call daily race run-throughs. And then we actually also recapped some of those NRL races and PHG races. Recording, however, proved to be, we'll just say, an interesting experience.
Moving on, this next mentality that we're looking at is a tough one, but I would suggest it's really worth it. That was a big itch. The overall mentality, I got a burp. Okay. We'll have to choose one of 4 Group 3 cars that are available. Available?
And with getting the business of the done turn, no.
This leads me to the outline? G heck and G.
So the next day, I decided to give the Lambo a go. My thought was to try the quali in the Huracan and race with the Veyron, as it had that. Well, that wasn't going too well anyway.
And get us as close to that goal of being 1 second off the top time as possible. And we managed.
So the other thing we wanted to do was do lobby races with subscribers, and that was a lot of fun. Very successful. I was very surprised, honestly. The other thing we wanted to do, when we first started, we were doing a lot of music, just copyright-free music, but we eventually wanted to go into putting our own out there. At first, we did some synthesized things that we had wrote, me and my boy, and then we eventually got a method of recording properly, and we put out live actual performances of our own compositions onto our videos. And then most recently, we began doing lap guides in the middle of the stream on Mondays. And this became quite, like, it's what people were really asking for. And when it got down to it, I was like, maybe I could make videos out of this. And the other thing that really propelled us was the Apex visualizer. This was an idea that came out of a lot of things that I had been going through in trying to get better. One of the things that helped me a lot was looking at an overhead view of a racing line. That's not something that I see too much of. And I thought, well, what if we could have an interactive racing line? And I asked my boy if he had some ideas of how to do this, and sure enough, he did. So between my knowledge of racing and his knowledge of math, we were able to create what we call now the Apex visualizer. And we utilize this on just about every corner for every track that we do a lap guide on. So slowly but surely, as you know, while working on these various ideas and different goals, all of these things came into fruition. And you first 500 subscribers came along just before Christmas in 2024, actually while we were on vacation. And when we returned, it was time to celebrate together.
This video is really a tribute to all of you. My first 500 subscribers, plus a few more at the time of making this video.
LL is here.
Whoa. Oh my goodness gracious. That's crazy. It's a 500 cupcake. In the world. That's a lot of chocolate. Even the candles look like chocolate. Look at this. We need more party stuff.
Certainly there are many faster growing channels than ours. But hitting the 500 mark really gave us the confidence that what we were doing was working. Both the Learn with Led and Essential Racing Strategies were well received. Learn with Led took off, honestly, beyond my wildest dreams. I never really thought that would be successful, because I thought, who would really want to go live on stream and put themselves out there and let all their mistakes be shown to whoever's watching? But surprisingly enough, Wicked Quick was right. People want to do this. And it's beneficial for those who are watching too, because they get to see and pick up things as well as I go step by step through the different corners with the guests. Essential Racing Strategies has been doing very well, and we're very excited to conclude that series, but also in the future get down to some of the nitty-gritty, have some more detailed and specific areas in which we want to actually focus on. And then these lap guides, turning them into videos has been great and has become quite popular. And that has been a huge part in this last push to actually get to 1,000 subscribers. Going from almost zero expectations to having achieved this goal, it's mind-blowing to me. But we aren't done. Honestly, once goals are achieved, I don't know about you, but here's what I do. It's time to set new goals. You'll be able to see some of those plans in the next few months, and I'm excited to get those rolling for us. But in the meantime, I dedicate this video to all of you, 1,000 subscribers and counting, for making this all a reality. Helping others get better at GT7 is definitely the focus of the channel, but we've also managed to have a really great time in the process. The people we've met and continue to meet, they're so cool. Never knew you could feel so close to people who are in some cases hundreds and thousands of miles away. Speaking of, we recently celebrated reaching 1,000 subscribers by hanging out with you all from all over the world. We began by putting me in awkward positions by racing on controller. Oh, this takes such an amazing amount of concentration. I don't know how you controller players do this. Oh, it's so wide. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That was like a pixel or two. And then also racing in the views that I don't use at all. That hurt. Oh, I lost the corner entirely. But y'all were incredibly generous with your donations and gifted memberships. Once again, all of you blew me away. After that, we continued celebrating with open lobbies and racing together for a few hours. Look at all these cars! This is awesome! One of the remarkable things I've learned during this last year of streaming is that when we fail, it's not the end. You all have seen my successes. You've all seen when I fail in the most spectacular of fashions. Even when I have been terribly disappointed in myself, you all have picked me up, right back up again. Even when the expectations were super high for a particular big racing event, and I finished nowhere near the front, you still are there. You still come back. You still cheer me on for the next one. Being victorious, overcoming, prevailing, triumphing, I've learned isn't just about my performance while racing. It's about the friends you gain along the way. In a moment, you will see a montage of the journey that all of you have played a part in creating. Along with this montage, you are going to hear portions of a new song that I have composed and performed specifically for this video dedicated to you. It is called Triumph.
enough tires left. Just enough fuel left. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I gotta breathe. That was the race of my life. Oh my goodness gracious, that just happened, folks.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me during these races, both the good ones and the hard ones. I was having a lot of fun racing when it was just me. It's hard to put into words just how much fun it is with 1,000 of you to share these experiences with.
Everybody, I love you all like crazy. I really do. And there's nothing you can do about it that can change my mind. I'll see you next time.